My name is Nye McGee with EUR Web. Thank you for giving me your time today to speak about The Chosen. So 4 seasons in, and I know this series provides an authentic look at Jesus's revolutionary life and teachings. How does your character fit into this historical context, and what unique perspective does she bring to the narrative overall?
Well, Tamar is, in all sense of the term, an other. She came from a foreign place, being a foreign language, into a place that was largely homogenous, with the Jewish faith. And so she brings this perspective of the other, the immigrant, this person who is searching and struggling for a place to belong. And so we see a lot of that journey for her over the seasons. Her place, what's so funny is we see seasons 1 through 3 where she is, fighting for purpose and to be important and to have a place of value within this group. And then we find in season 4 that she has found that she's like fully realized in her purpose there. And it's really just to bear witness. And so we get to see that journey happen all the way up to season 4, season 5. I would love to tell you about it because it's so good. We just wrapped on it. But I love that they brought her, because not only is she this beautiful Black woman from a faraway country, but she is also a Gentile. So not only is she different in those aspects, but she also doesn't share the same faith, which I think gives her really a valuable perspective, because she has no expectations of Jesus when she meets him. So everything that she learns about him is at face value. And it's really beautiful to just have that open faith with no direction. She just knew from that moment that that's where she was going to be. She's going to be following Jesus.
Jesus of Nazareth! I saw what you did to the leper on the road this morning. My friend has been paralyzed since childhood. We need to see Jesus.
Put it back, man.
If you are willing, Rabbi, I know you can do this.
Your faith is beautiful.
I'm sorry to say this. I think we should be more humble. I struggle to understand your entitlement. You don't even know the pain of our people.
Just because I'm not Jewish doesn't mean I don't know pain. I come from a war-torn country. It still has my mother's blood on it.
I judged your strength against my weakness. I do well to have some of what you have.
Mary, I could use some of what you have too.
Okay, so I know you said you just wrapped season 5. You can't talk too much about it. Fair enough. But can you at least hint or tease? Does the season 5 delve deeper into your character's story or backstory in any way?
I think season 5 is really focusing on where Jesus's journey is heading. And we get to see how she fits into that journey. So we're really focusing on where that's going. There's a lot of foreshadowing. We know where the story is going, and now we get to see it play out in a different way that we've never seen before. And so for her, we get to see exactly, without saying too much, how Jesus feels about having her there. And it's really beautiful. And I really, really hope that you get a chance, because you said you haven't watched it. I hope you get a chance to watch it, binge it before we come out with season 5. Well, we just came out of season 3 first, with her kind of being the way she is, rubbing certain people the wrong way. We see that with the dynamic between her and Mary, because Mary doesn't understand why she's so bold and outspoken, and why you're a little loud and proud, and what's up with that. And then they come to a resolution of that, and understanding of judging others against ourselves. Like she says, I judged your strengths against my weaknesses. And in season 4, we just see this like meld, this beautiful meld, where everything is starting to function more so in harmony. Now, obviously, we have some very tragic and dramatic moments that happen in season 4, but we find that they lean on each other more than ever, especially the women. Okay, because it's the women, that are there, even at the very end when the men run off. It's the women, and we can see that relationship being built over the seasons, of how strong and steady, like a tree that's planted by the water. That's what they represent, and you can see that in season 4, how their bonds solidify.
Now, how has playing this character influenced your understanding of the historical and religious context of this series? I mean, has any of you unpacking and occupying the headspace of this character, has it changed any of your personal views or beliefs?
Well, what it has affected is my ability to see these people as people. Because once upon a time, they're just names in a book that, someone drilled in my head in Bible study and Bible school when I was younger, or they were referred to as a brother or the friend. And now I play one of these people who was referred to as a friend that has a name and a history and life and blood running through her veins. And it gives you such an appreciation of the struggle of living in first century Judea and Capernaum. And it's like, oh, they're trying to do the exact same things we're doing. It was such a realization playing these characters. Like, they're just trying to get to tomorrow. They're trying to foster relationships. They're trying to make a living. They're trying to raise their families and have enough to eat for dinner tonight. And so it just gave a lot of value to them as human beings, which I think a lot of times we forget because we place such a veil over that time period. And it places new value on them in general.
This series has received a lot of praise for its humanizing portrayal of biblical figures. How do you connect to your character on a personal level? Are there any aspects of this character that you find especially compelling?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just like Tamar, there's been many rooms I walk in and I'm the only person that looks and sounds like me. And so that was an immediate connection, the obvious connection that I had with her. But then I realized once we started delving into her history that she comes from a place that, the trauma in her life that she suffered through, she's gone through, and that she's overcame. And I love the fact that she didn't let that dictate the way she carried out the rest of her life. It did inform some decisions, but it didn't dictate how. She didn't let her trauma lead her. And it kept her open to when Jesus came. She just knew that was it. And so for me, I connect with that because I am proud to say I don't look like where I've been. And a lot of us don't. And that's a life goal. It's to not look like where you've been. And I think that's one of the things that we have in common. And I want what you see. I want you to feel the warmth and the love from me, like we do from Tamar, and when she made that decision. So that's how I think I relate to her the most. It's not only being the other, but the fact that not letting where we've been in our life dictate us and how we approach relationships and adversity in the future.
So, I mean, obviously 4 seasons in would definitely signify that this series has a diverse and dedicated fan base. How is the audience for you? What's the audience response been like to Tamar's journey in this show? And how has the response impacted you as an actress and personally?
Yeah. Well, when we play these characters for so long, we start advocating for them like they're family. Like, that's my cousin. So like, don't talk bad about her. But we have people who absolutely love her, people who feel represented by Tamar, which is something I didn't really think about before I took on the role, the responsibility, and what that really meant to be a representative for a large community. But also what I feel is that you have some who are kind of taken aback by why is she not this timid, small, light-spoken woman that would have been appropriate in that time? And I'm like, because she wasn't. And sometimes that rubs people the wrong way because they expect you to be timid. And I say, well, if you have kind of a adverse feelings to seeing her be this way, then I think what she's doing is putting up a mirror for you to look at. There's something that you're seeing or you're not seeing that's affecting you on a molecular level. And you really need to address that. But I think the wide and through is that it's been an amazing, beautiful response from people. A lot of appreciative messages I get from people feeling represented finally, because we were there. We were there. This is a large town community and where people from all over the place would come there and trade. And like it's lovely to not feel left out of Bible stories, which I feel like it's been happening for a really long time. And so I love that the show takes extra care to make sure that everyone is included, and they do it in such an authentic way. It's not forced, and that gives me a lot of pride to be a part of.
Yeah, that's one thing when I was researching this show to prepare for this interview, I had gone on the website and I'm like, wow, this series is 4 seasons deep and I've never heard of this show. Why have I never heard of this show? And then the diverse cast and you being part of the cast, it's always so wonderful when we tell these stories set in this time, especially when it deals with Jesus and biblical, to see women and men that look like me,
Yeah,
right? Because they want us to
absolutely.
believe, a lot of people want us to believe we didn't exist during these times. So I'm so glad the producers and the casting directors went the opposite of what the unofficial narrative has been about, you know, melanated people's participation in this time. What do you hope viewers take away from your character's journey and the overall message of this show?
Well, from the overall message of the show, one thing I think that really draws people into The Chosen is that there is always someone to identify with in this series, whether it's a character or a situation. So whether or not, whatever your faith background is, there is someone here for you in The Chosen that you're going to identify, whether it's your mom or yourself. And that just sometimes just having that connection is just all we need, like in the human experience. But like for my character, and for me, what I hope people take away is that letting faith guide you will take you to phenomenal places. And that's not just Tamar. That's me on a personal level, because I didn't start where I am right now. And just letting that guide you and trusting that it's going to take you to some places you could never imagine, places way better than what you had planned for yourself. And so I just really hope that when people see Tamar in this series, that they feel represented, that they feel like they can take that risk, that they can feel safe and being guided by their faith, and that they find someone to connect with, because that's all we're really doing at the end of the day, is wanting to connect with someone.
Absolutely. Well, Amber, that is my time. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
You know?
I am going to start binge watching this show because like I said, this is my type of show. I love all things related to Jesus and the Bible. So I am going to start getting into this series. Thank you so much for giving me your time. And thanks for your people for even putting this on my radar. I'm looking forward to sharing this conversation with my readers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a blessed day. It's nice
You
meeting
too. Thank you.